Good afternoon, everybody. This is Reverend Jill Carey from Unity of Wimberley, and I'm glad you could join me here on this lovely Christmas Eve. Here in Austin, it's bright and relatively clear, and the temperature is crisp, and it actually feels like Christmas. So I'm wearing a scarf as though it were, like Christmas in other places that have snow and really cold weather and stuff. This Christmas is a little different, isn't it? I think it's important for us to go ahead and acknowledge and embrace the fact that we are living in the paradox of joy and sorrow, which produces a feeling of being poignant. I think every one of us has been touched, either directly or indirectly, by the deaths of so many people this year. The loss of so many. And we can't help but feel an ache in our hearts for that. But that makes the Christmas celebration even more important, I think, because it gives us an opportunity to acknowledge and give thanks for lives that have touched us and for lives that are still with us, touching us each day, and for us to remember why we're celebrating this season in the first place. I know that we talk about the idea of renewal, especially at Easter, but this Christmas feels like the idea of renewal is just as important as ever. As we celebrate the birth of the Christ child, we're also celebrating the birth of the new aspect of the Christ within each one of us. And that's being brought to the front of our conscious mind and our behavior every single day if we allow it to be so. If we acknowledge already that we have within us all the gifts that God intends us to have. It's our gold, frankincense, and myrrh, if you will, brought by wisdom, which is also there. And we also have the innocence and the receptivity of the shepherds, and of course the miracle of Mary and Joseph in humble conditions, bringing forth someone who would change the world forever and ever. And I talked about this some in our Christmas Eve service, which I want to remind you, if you're not aware of it already, that this evening at 5 p.m. Central Time, on the Unity of Wimberley website, unityofwimberley.com, we will have a Christmas Eve candle lighting service. And so it will give you an opportunity, if you're used to having a Christmas celebration with a spiritual family, it will allow you to have your own celebration of light and bring a candle to that 5 p.m. service so that you can engage with the rituals of the season, even though they're different this year. So let's take a moment just to breathe in the midst of busyness, in the midst of the phone calls or the Zoom sessions that we might be having today and tomorrow in lieu of gathering in person. Let's just take a moment to be still on the inside. If you're not breathing, just breathe, because it is the breath of life that takes us into our next unfolding of spirit within us. It reveals to us that which is wise and true and the next right thing for us in our lives. So let this Christmas Eve and Christmas Eve evening be a time for that silent night to celebrate the gathering of all those elements that made this birth so incredibly special. And know, beloved, that you too are a child of the Most High. The angels celebrate you. The angels celebrate each one of God's divine creations. And so, even though we're not together in person this year, know that my heart is with you, and know that this season does have comfort and joy in it, despite everything else that's happened. This is not being a Pollyanna or having an overly optimistic worldview. It's seeing reality and seeing hope in the midst of it anyway. So know that I love you and I miss you. I bless you and appreciate you on this Christmas Eve. I hope that your Christmas day is joyous and full of blessings for you. I hope that if you are spending this holiday by yourself, that you will reach out to another and celebrate with them and say, I love you. And also, if you feel like this message might be of benefit to someone else out there, please feel free to share this from my Facebook page. So I hope to see you this evening at our 5 p.m. service that will be at unityofwimberley.com. And I will for sure see you next week on New Year's Eve. So blessings, my friends. Merry Christmas.